Hello, this is Mark Walton with the Walton School of Auctioneering in Medina, Ohio. We can be reached at 800-369-2818. Continuing on with our video series about how to chant like an auctioneer, one of the overlooked aspects of learning a chant, and it may seem a little silly to you, is actually learning some tongue twisters. The reason that we go into that is, number one, they're a good way to warm up your throat before you start into auctioneering. But they also teach you several things that are conducive to a good auction chant. One of the things that they can teach you is the rhythm, the basic rhythms of an auction chant. If you listen to many of the tongue twisters, you'll hear about the same thing as you'll hear with an auction chant. To illustrate that, I'll go over one of the tongue twisters here that says, how many cans can a canner can if a canner can cans? A canner can as many cans as a canner can if a canner can cans. The way that sounds when you say it, and you're doing your drill, is how many cans can a canner can if a canner can cans? A canner can as many cans as a canner can if a canner can cans. How many cans can a canner can if a canner can cans? A canner can as many cans as a canner can if a canner can cans. How many cans can a canner can if a canner can cans? A canner can as many cans as a canner can if a canner can cans. If you hear that, that's the same basic rhythm that you'll hear in an auction chant. I like to either shake my hand to it a little bit or perhaps tap my toe. Practice that as I'm warming up. That'll put a little more rhythm and a little more of that auction sound into your chant. Some other ones I like to use: around the rough and rugged rock the ragged rascal ran. Around the rough and rugged rock the ragged rascal ran. Around the rough and rugged rock the ragged rascal ran. Around the rough and rugged rock the ragged rascal ran. Around the rough and rugged rock the ragged rascal ran. Around the rough and rugged rock the ragged rascal ran. Around the rough and rugged rock the ragged rascal ran. These don't have to make a lot of sense. Okay, we don't really care that it makes sense or it doesn't make sense. But what it teaches us to do is teaches us to enunciate our words clearly, if you're doing it correctly, so that they can be heard. You can understand what each word is. It also teaches us to do that while maintaining that same rhythm in the auction chant. You'll hear that same rhythm in another of my favorites, which sounds like this. If a woodchuck could chuck wood, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck? If a woodchuck could chuck wood, he would chuck as much as he could. If a woodchuck could chuck wood. If a woodchuck could chuck wood, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck? If a woodchuck could chuck wood, he would chuck as much as he could. If a woodchuck could chuck wood. If a woodchuck could chuck wood, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck? If a woodchuck could chuck wood, he would chuck as much as he could. If a woodchuck could chuck wood. If a woodchuck could chuck wood, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck? If a woodchuck could chuck wood, he would chuck as much as he could. If a woodchuck could chuck wood. Now I'm only going through these probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 times. I would normally do this for 4 or 5 minutes before I switched from one to the next Some other favorites. This one can get a little tricky, particularly in mixed company. I slid a sheet I slid, I knew by gosh I slid a sheet. Okay, and don't worry, you're going to slip up at some point and say the wrong word. That happens to all of us. I slid a sheet I slid, I knew by gosh I slid a sheet. I slid a sheet I slid, I knew by gosh I slid a sheet. I slid a sheet I slid, I knew by gosh I slid a sheet. I slid a sheet I slid, I knew by gosh I slid a sheet. I slid a sheet I slid, I knew by gosh I slid a sheet. I slid a sheet I slid, I knew by gosh I slid a sheet. I slid a sheet I slid, I knew by gosh I slid a sheet. Another one that makes absolutely no sense, but it's very good for that rhythm, is simply Tommy Atatimus, as in somebody's name, Tommy Atatimus, took 2 T's, tied them atop 2 tall trees. Now, I know that doesn't make any sense to us, but if you listen to that, that'll put you right into that flow of the natural auction chant. Tommy Atatimus took 2 T's, tied them atop 2 tall trees. Tommy Atatimus took 2 T's, tied them atop 2 tall trees. Tommy Atatimus took 2 T's, tied them atop 2 tall trees. Tommy Atatimus took 2 T's, tied them atop 2 tall trees. Tommy Atatimus took 2 T's, tied them atop 2 tall trees. Tommy Atatimus took 2 T's, tied them atop 2 tall trees. Tommy Atatimus took 2 T's, tied them atop 2 tall trees. Tommy Atatimus took 2 T's, tied them atop 2 tall trees. Another one. A lot of the students have a little bit of trouble with this one, but it's also got that very same rhythm to it. It goes, I thought, but the thought I thought wasn't the thought I'd thought. If the thought I'd thought had been the thought I'd thought, I wouldn't have thought so much. I thought, but the thought I thought wasn't the thought I'd thought. If the thought I'd thought had been the thought I thought, I wouldn't have thought so much. I thought, the thought wasn't a thought I thought. If the thought I thought had been a thought I thought, I wouldn't have thought so much. I thought, the thought I thought wasn't a thought I thought. If the thought I thought had been a thought I thought, I wouldn't have thought so much. I thought, the thought I thought wasn't a thought I thought. If the thought I thought had been a thought I thought, I wouldn't have thought so much. Another good one. Around the rough and rugged rock, the ragged rascal ran. Around the rough and rugged rock, the ragged rascal ran. Around the rough and rugged rock, the ragged rascal ran. Around the rough and rugged rock, the ragged rascal ran. Around the rough and rugged rock, the ragged rascal ran. Around the rough and rugged rock, the ragged rascal ran. Around the rough and rugged rock, the ragged rascal ran. Around the rough and rugged rock, the ragged rascal ran. Around the rough and rugged rock, the ragged rascal ran. Again, the way I recommend that you practice these is that you play the tape back. Kind of dating myself. You play the video back, listen to it, do it along with me. Perhaps write it down, so first several times you can actually look at the words as we're doing it. And do it. Don't just do it a couple times like I'm doing it. Maybe do each one for 3 or 4 minutes before you switch to the next. I like to use these as a warm-up before I do my number drills, so I'll do these, kind of get that tongue, mouth loosened up, move into the number drills. One thing as you're practicing you might want to be aware of is that if you're doing your 1-hour practice a day, after a while your mouth, your jaw, and everything will start to get tired and you'll start to want to speak without moving your lips very much. I would give you a piece of advice, which is to open your mouth up, over-enunciate your words, and it will actually help you to stretch your jaw muscles and actually keep you selling longer without getting the cramps and the need to close down your mouth, which is going to hurt clarity. Okay? And again, clarity, if they can't understand you, they're not going to buy from you. So again, around the rough and rugged rock, the ragged rascal ran. How many cans can a canner can? If a canner can cans, a canner can as many cans, a canner can. If a canner can cans. If a woodchuck could chuck wood, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck? If a woodchuck could chuck wood, he would as much he could. If a woodchuck could chuck wood, I slid a sheet, I slid any bagash, I slid a sheet. I slid a sheet, I slid any bagash, I slid a sheet. Tommy and Tadimus took 2 T's, tied them atop 2 tall trees. Tommy and Tadimus took 2 T's, tied them atop 2 tall trees. I thought, but the thought I thought wasn't a thought I thought. If the thought I thought had been a thought I thought, I wouldn't have thought so much. I think these are invaluable to adding a little bit of flavor to your chant. Get you that rhythm, get you that sound that you want as a good bid calling auctioneer. That's it for this video. We'll see you in the next segment.